Trump is continuing to crush, and he's making all the economists go nuts, making their heads explode. So Trump said today, or yesterday, he said, if Europe doesn't buy more natural gas from the U.S., I think he said oil and natural gas, they're going to be facing tariffs. I said, dude, this is... Oh, that is so good. Because Europe has put themselves in this insane bind where they say, we're going to get rid of our nuclear, we're going to get rid of our coal, we're not going to have fracking, we're just going to rely on solar panels and wind turbines. On top of that, we're going to ban Russia exports, or in their case, imports into our country to let us heat our houses and use electricity. And Trump says, fine, you want to do that? Well, guess what? If you want this stuff to come to the rescue, guess what? We're going to put tariffs on you. So now Europe, the sanctimonious clowns that they are, says, well, where are we going to get our stuff from? Of course, the economists will say, oh, but this is going to cause mass inflation. I'm like, show me where there's mass inflation from tariffs. Show me. The Kinley Tariff Act of 1890, I forgot the name of it, from 1922, obviously Smoot-Hawley from 1930. Where was the mass inflation coming after that? Where? There wasn't any. There was not. There was no mass inflation, not even close to it. Mass tariffs on sugar prices in Smoot-Hawley. What happened to sugar prices? Oh, they went down. Well, because of the Great Depression. Okay. So inherently, tariffs do not create mass inflation. If you have an exception to the rule, then the rule has got to be suspect. And not only do we have an exception to the rule, if anything, what tariffs do is they cause deflation. Horrible economic environments from 1890s and 1930s. But then we had huge growth in 1922 from that on. So who knows? All I know is if you are a freaking economic powerhouse like the U.S. is, nothing comes close to us, and you're not using that to benefit your own taxpayers, your own citizens, you suck. You are a globalist shill. George W. Bush, globalist shill. Bill Clinton, globalist shill. Tony Blair, all these guys, freaking David Cameron, globalist shills. You suck. Justin Trudeau, globalist shill. The stupid idiots and freaking Angela Merkel and Olaf Scholz. In Germany, globalist shills. Macron, globalist shill. At least in France, they love them some nuclear though. I think France was trying to cut a couple of their nuclear power plants. They had some law in like 2014 or something like that to get rid of their nuclear. And then reality hit after the Russian invasion of Ukraine. They say, yeah, we're not going to do that. Now they're trying to get 8 more online. So kudos to France. But if you control the powerhouse of economic growth, the engine of economic growth, and you aren't using that to benefit your people, you suck and you're a globalist shill. If you are using that to benefit your people, freaking, you're the man. You're crushing. Because obviously what's going to happen is Europe's going to say, we can't buy from Russia because our sanctimonious stance against the Russian-Ukraine thing, even though they try to expand NATO. Obviously, we can buy from China, I suppose, even though China has, slave labor and whatnot, and they're still commie. It's funny because like Massachusetts has done the same thing about natural gas. So what they do, they export it, they import it from Philippine ships that run on diesel engines. It's crazy, man. So these Philippine ships will bring their natural gas and the whole thing because Massachusetts doesn't want it coming via global pipeline from the United States and fracking and whatnot. So instead, they're going to put it on ships. It's insane, dude. The liberals are insane. And so this is why it's great to finally say once and for all, we're in charge. The grown-ups are in charge. We're going to do what we got to do to keep America great again. And this is freaking fantastic. And that means we also, we're going to start taxing you, i.e. via tariffs, because we need to have more manufacturing in the United States. We need to be self-sufficient in the United States. Yeah, it might cost them more money. We don't know. We don't know. The economists will say, oh, but my supply and demand chart shows this. And you just have to go back and say, well, how come it doesn't always work? Well, because, on the other hand, like Harry Truman said, I need a one-handed economist. Why? Because they always say, on the other hand, if this happens, he goes, just give me one hand. I don't want 2 hands on the other hand. So Harry Truman said it best. I need a one-handed economist. Because the economists say, well, tariffs will cause inflation, except when they don't. Well, yeah, but that's because this, that, and the other. Anyway, keep crushing Trump. All right, God bless. We'll see you.